initially I wasn't actually working at all. But once we figured out that we were going to be doing distance learning, then I was quickly trying to figure out how to make that work. And it was a learning process, of course, for something that is traditionally done in person.
I would say for the cons of this, we're starting to lack a community aspect. I mean, we do get the chance to like talk on and ask questions, but it's much harder when you're not in person because of internet issues, lag. Something is that you might have to be careful about sound. For example, I live in a 3-story apartment at the top floor, and when I'm trying to do tap dancing, I have, there's people downstairs, so I basically have to tap dance in my street shoes. I did not expect it would be this long. I initially figured it would just be, a few months or just like a few weeks or something.
So initially, I started recording my classes and doing private lessons remotely. I didn't know how to make specifically my art form, tap dancing, work in a remote learning situation because of having multiple people making noise all at once, and there were some technical issues to get sorted out. And at the time, I had never done remote instruction before. So initially it was a situation where I was just recording class breakdowns where I would basically teach to a camera as though I had a live audience and break down steps and give counts and demonstrate things. And then for private lessons, since it was just one person at a time, I felt more comfortable doing real-time one-on-one instruction. But yeah, that was the initial situation. As we got further into it and I got more comfortable with a remote instruction platform and what it could be, what it was capable of, that's when I started moving into live instruction for my classes. And that has been a work in progress, but I think now we've finally got it figured out so that it is the best of the bad options.
The pro is that you get to take class, as opposed to you can't take class because there's no way for you to be able to.
So when I have students in person, my instinct is to sort of revert back to those reflexive habits that have developed over 20 years of doing this. And I have to, it takes a conscious effort to remind myself that I have people, quite a number of people sometimes, over there on my computer watching also. And it really does help to have them connected to a television, have my computer set up connected to a television so I have a much bigger screen that shows me everyone's faces. It reminds me that they exist much more effectively than just my computer would. But yeah, it's a challenge to balance the attention levels between them. I can give much more effective feedback to people when they're here in person with me than I can over a remote learning connection. but I definitely try to do the best I can when possible. I also know that from the student's perspective, though, each student is different and is in a different environment. You know, some of these kids are in their garage. Just the other day, I was working with a class where one of the kids was taking class from his garage, and it was totally freezing. And so he had these thick gloves on his hand. He was dressed for a dance class, but wearing winter accessories to stay warm while taking a dance class. Now, first of all, major credit to him for being dedicated and being a trooper. But you know, in a situation like that, it's like I can't ask a student like that to be able to demonstrate something on a small 4 foot by 4 foot piece of wood in their garage on a cement floor, and it's in the 30s and he's freezing, and be able to expect him to demonstrate it to the same level of competency were he to be here in class with me in a much more friendly circumstance for the you know, trying to learn what he's doing. So I can imagine the challenge on their end might be greater learning in real time, live, remotely, as opposed to the recorded classes. But I think the general chemistry of the experience and the you know, being able to see each other and to see your teacher in real time, plus the option for me to be able to give at least some feedback when I can in real time, I think that's on balance a more positive experience. And so we've stuck with that as opposed to continuing with the recorded classes.